Oh my god, I look like a mess. Well, that was emotionally draining. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Catherine here with our first Riverdale reaction slash review episode or video, whatever this is. It is currently almost 11 o'clock at night and I worked late, and then I watched TV, and then I watched Riverdale last so I was ready for this. And we're just gonna get started. I'm so excited. I finally finished my wall over here. I think I finally finished decorating my room. I'll do a room tour when everything is good, but I have some Riverdale stuff and some Cole stuff. That's a Riverdale calendar that I got for Christmas. This was a Christmas gift from my boyfriend. That's my signed picture of the core 4. A student of mine drew that for me, so that's really cool. And that's one of my posters from when I was 12. But anyway, I hope you guys all had a chance to watch the episode. If you did not, go ahead and watch it. It is so good. It is called The Climax, and it's chapter 77. It is season 5, episode 1, but it should have been season 4, episode 20, if you think about it that way. So we're just gonna jump right into it. So, oh my god, I feel like I just watched it, but I can't remember a single thing, how it started. Oh, it started with them at the cabin. That's right. Betty and Jughead were there, and they called Charles, of course, which I still think is a bad idea, and we'll get to my theories for next week in a minute. Well, no, in 10 minutes. But he's still sus. He's still sus. However, we know Mr. Honey is okay now. They didn't actually kill Mr. Honey, which is nice to know. But they're still on this tour and trying to figure out who it is. So they're there, and then they finally go home, right? And they know that Mr. Honey is safe. Charles tells them that. Then we see Veronica and Archie, and this is when I started palpitating, because I just felt so bad for Veronica at this point, and she didn't even know yet, but she sees the song Carry the Torch that Archie wrote for Betty, and she's like, I want you to sing it, sing it for me. And he goes, no, it's bad. And I'm just because it's not about her, that's why you don't want to sing it. But we know that she doesn't know that. And we find out that he is meeting with one of the recruiters from the Naval Academy, so that way he knows what he's doing after graduation, because everyone knows what college they're going to. He's the one that just doesn't know what is happening. So that happened next. And, I'm just going to gloss over some things, because I'm just going to talk about what I loved and what I thought was important. Then we have Cheryl and Tony. They're running for prom queens. And so Cheryl is stopping everyone else from running, so that way they can win, which is such a Cheryl thing to do. And Tony's main focus is to be Serpent Queen, which we got a little preview of over the summer when they first started filming, a video or a picture of her as the Serpent Queen. So that's exciting. We find out that then we see Archie and Veronica at the gym with the Naval Academy recruit, and we find out that there's someone else that is up for this position in the Naval Academy, and his name is K.O. Kelly, and he's from Katie Keene, and he's dating Katie Keene. I didn't watch Katie Keene, it wasn't my thing, so I had no idea. But Veronica knows him because Veronica and Katie Keene are best friends from New York. Whatever. And they invite him up to do a match against Archie in order to see who's going to get the spot. So that is that storyline. So they go to the gym and they're sparring back and forth. Then they go to the speakeasy after. And at the speakeasy, Veronica's there and she's on stage and she starts singing Carry the Torch, which was when I took this picture. And I was just like, oh my god, like, this can't be happening. And I was just like, I was waiting to see Betty's face when she realized it. And so they show Archie and he's like, oh crap. They show K.O. Kelly and he's like, cool, whatever. Jughead's like, aw, that's nice. And Betty's like, what's happening? Like, she recognized it right away. And then we see Archie and Veronica and K.O. Kelly leave, and it's really awkward between Archie and Veronica. Like, they kiss goodbye, but it was a really awkward kiss. Like, nothing like usual for them. And Veronica had to stop and be like, hey, I love you. And he's like, I love you too. Like, I'm like, that is sign number one, that your man is up to no good. Then we have Betty and Jughead, like, trying to figure out how to get into this auteur. And we know they know at this point it has to do something with the Blue Velvet, which was that tape shop that had all of the films that then got raided by the FBI and Jughead. So they decide to film a snuff film, and a fake one. Snuff films, for those who don't know, which I think you do at this point by watching the show, it is a film showing an actual murder or an actual crime, and they release it, and it's really underground and stuff like that. And so they film it starring Cheryl and Reggie, and Cheryl's in a wig, and there's fake blood, and all that fun stuff. And Jughead got really into it, and it was really funny to see that side of Jughead. We haven't really seen that playful side in a long time. Then so they filmed that, and they put it on a VHS. That is a tape for anyone born before the year after 2000 that don't know what a VHS is. I'm 26, so I grew up on VHSs, and then we had DVDs, and then whatever we watch now. But a VHS, yes, there it is. Just aged myself. So they bring it to the Blue Velvet with this guy named David. He's the owner. And we had a really cute scene in the blue and gold with Betty, Jughead, and Kevin, where Jughead's like, he'll recognize me because I raided the place, and Betty can't go alone. So, well, she can, just putting that out there, feminism, but she's uncomfortable with it, and so is Jughead. So they ask Kevin to go with her, and they go. And they give him the tape, and he goes, it's a fake. Like, we could tell. So she says, I have one that's backup, and it is the tape of Hal as a kid with his mother being like, we have to do better. Like, how he became a serial killer. And I was just like, oh my god, I couldn't believe it. And he asks if he can screen it, and Betty's like, as long as I'm there, that's fine. And so she went. But before that, we also see a little thing between Cheryl and Tony, that Cheryl wants to have a dinner party before prom with her family and Tony's family, and Tony's said no because she didn't tell her family that she's dating Cheryl. And I got that right in my little theories video that was 2 weeks ago. I'll put in a flag here for those who want to watch that. It has all Riverdale season 5 theories and my theories that were going to happen at the prom. Some of them happened, some of them didn't. So that's good to know. We see a really sad scene between Tony and her grandmother where Cheryl had gone to see Tony's grandmother, and so it wasn't the fact that Tony's dating a girl, it's that Tony's dating Cheryl, and that was just heartbreaking to watch. And so they had a confrontation, Cheryl and Tony, and we didn't know if Tony was going to show up for prom. Besides that, we knew because they released every photo under the sun for this episode. And it seems like they're going to do that for the rest of the season, which I'm okay about, but some people aren't really happy about it because they want to be surprised. Shout out them. All right. So now the party, this rave, this like screening of all these like underground films and Archie's fight is happening at the same time. So they're jumping back and forth, but they're really focusing on the videos, which I liked. I was like, oh, we don't need to see Archie box another person. Like, we're done. I'm over it. So they show that, and so Betty goes in, and it was so funny because Jughead comes in with his like hat and his like hoodie on, and I was like, who the hell is that? And my mom goes, who is that? And I was like, that's Jughead. And we couldn't believe it. We were like shocked. So that was really funny. And so they go around, they're looking at all the videos, they're trying to find the ones of them in the masks. So they're going through, there's some like porn videos, we see Hal's video, and then finally we see some of the ones with the mask. We see the one of Jughead getting hit with the rock, we see the ones of them killing Mr. Honey, we see a bunch of them, and so they go in there and they start being like, are you the director of this film? Are you? Like Jughead is pulling all the masks. They're all wearing these like really weird masks. He's pulling all these masks off of them, and like they start like saying, no, it's not me, it's not me. And then someone then goes, oh, Ponytail Playmate, you're hotter in person, to Betty, and Jughead lost it. Jughead punches him, and it was like, that was the punch, and we all thought that he was gonna be punching Archie for like kissing Betty, but we're still waiting for that one. That'll be the day that I die, when Jughead punches Archie. Anyway, so then they start going through the rest of, and this is like also a rave, so it's like they're sort of on drugs, and they're doing this really weird dance, and like when a certain song plays, and I'm like, this is really weird. And all of a sudden, boom, we bump into Jellybean, and I did this, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? But Betty and Jughead are after this guy now in an owl mask. They see this guy, and they're like, and he's like filming them. He has a camcorder, so like that has to be him. So, but they bump into Jellybean, and so Betty starts running after the guy filming them, and Jughead is like grabs Jellybean. It's like, come on, you're with us now. And they don't catch up to him, and then the next time we see them, they're all at Pop's. But in a minute, we're going to talk about now Archie's fight. Archie lost his fight. Great. So at Pop's, the three of them are talking about how Jellybean knew where to go and all this stuff. And she was like, no, just a friend told me that her brother goes and all this stuff. And Jughead's like, can you not do this while I'm in Iowa? Like, that'd be great. And she goes, sure. And that's that. Then we see them all getting ready for prom. Cheryl's getting ready, and Nana's about to take a picture of her by herself, and Tony walks in, and I was like, aw. Veronica and Archie, they're there. Hiram asks Archie if he wants to stay in Riverdale and be his junior mayor, which I was like, we're not doing this again. I can't deal with another Hiram and Archie, like, friendship and weird apprenticeship. Yeah, no, I'm over it. And then Veronica walked out, and they start taking pictures, and Mary Andrews, Archie's mom, goes, say Endgame, and I was like, no thanks. Even though I want Archie to be Endgame more than anything, but not right now. We need to focus on one thing at a time. And then we see the beautiful scene of Betty and Jughead taking pictures that was released like a week ago, and it was just so beautiful when he does that breath. He goes, like, he just takes that big sigh, like, that's beautiful. And he says, Betty Cooper, you take my breath away. And she says, Jughead Jones, the feeling is mutual. And it was so, like, when they first said I love you, and I can't, I'm emotional about it. And then we see them dancing at prom. They all got there, and Reggie, of course, spikes the punch, which was like expected. And so they're dancing, and Veronica and Archie are talking, and Veronica says, oh, I'm going to defer a year at Barnard, and I'm going to stay here and be your partner for junior mayor with my dad. And he goes, I can't let you do that. And she goes, why? Like, we want to be, I'd rather skip a year of college than, like, miss a lifetime with you. And that's when he just flat out tells her that he and Betty kiss. And I did this. And I just made this reaction. I could not believe it. I gasped like like you couldn't believe. I could not believe it that he just flat out and told her. And then we see Cheryl and Tony get crowned prom queens, which was really cute. And they say we need our court, and they have Betty, Jughead, Archie, and Veronica dance with them, but Archie and Veronica are like fighting at this point, on the verge of breaking up because of the kiss. And then as they're dancing, the lights turn off and they see a video pop up, and it is of the video store owner getting killed by a bunch of people in the Betty Jughead masks and all of them, which was really shocking. That wasn't what I thought. In my theories video, I said that they were going to show Betty and Archie kissing, and that's how everyone was going to find out, but I was obviously wrong. And then Betty and Jughead, they shut it all down, and then they go running to see where it was filmed, because it was filmed in the film shop. So they wanted to go and, like, shut it down, find out who did it, whole 9 yards. Then we see the aftermath of prom a little bit, which was Charlotte and Tony breaking up. Tony says, I have to go home to my grandmother, otherwise she's never going to talk to me again if I'm not there by midnight. This was for us tonight, but we're done. And I felt so bad for Charlotte. I was, like, in tears about it. And then we see Archie and Veronica talking in the music room, of course, because where else would Archie be with a girl? I'm throwing all the shade at Archie, but he deserves it. And Veronica asked, did Betty tell Jughead? And he said, no, we promised that we weren't going to talk about it at all. And she goes, well, I think we should keep that promise, because they shouldn't get hurt like we are. And Archie asks, what's going to happen next? And she says, well, the next 2 weeks before graduation, we're going to be distant. And then after graduation, we're going to go our separate ways. And that's it. And I was like, holy crap. I was like, good for her. At first, I thought she was handling it a little too well. And then that happened, and I was like, good for her. However, I would have ran and told Jughead. But besides the point. And then Betty and Jughead go into the video store, and it's just the mask there, and the camera is still on, and it says, God is watching you. And I was like, what? Like, that's very, like, Black Hoodie, but he dead now. I hope. I really hope. It has to be. Okay. After I collected my thoughts on that. And then they go and talk to Charles again, and he was like, we have a search out for David. Hopefully he's still alive, and all this stuff. And Betty's like, what do we do now? And Jughead's like, I guess we just wait for the next video to drop. And then we see Archie walk up the steps of his house, and there's a tape right there, and it is a tape of someone, the guy in the owl mask and someone in an Archie mask being held up by Pops. And I was like, whoa. And we get Riverdale. The next episode, here's a few theories I have. I think the next episode we're going to find out who the voyeur is, and I think that's why they didn't really show that part of it, and they just showed Archie freaking out and getting beat up by Hiram. Oh, I didn't mention that. Veronica, like, tells Hermione that something happened between Betty and Archie, and you see Hiram in the background, like, super angry. So that's that. So in the coming attractions, we see Hiram, like, going after Archie, which Archie deserves in that case from Hiram. One time I'll side with Hiram. So I think we will find out who the auteur is next episode, because usually we find out the episode before, and we know that the episode after that is graduation. So in my last video, the theories video, I mentioned that some people think that Jellybean is the auteur, which now I'm kind of buying, except that we have pictures of her at graduation episode. So I'm torn, but I'm low-key buying it. Because what was she doing at that party? You know, there's just certain things that I'm like, ooh, that's a possibility. But my number one is still Charles, even though it could be a little obvious now. I totally forgot to mention the scene with like them and Brett. It was fine, whatever. Next week, I think either next week or the week after. Well, obviously next week or the week after is gonna be that like really hot sex scene between Betty and Jughead, which is gonna be fabulous. Charlotte's gonna go off the deep end, I think, now that Tony broke up with her. Gonna go crazy. I really think it's Charles. It'd be stupid if it wasn't. I'm trying to think who else it could be.
Hey guys, so this is me on Thursday editing this, and this is my plea that I think Jellybean is the auteur. Maybe it's either Jellybean or Charles. Thanks!
Alright, so that completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a little review. I think next week I'm going to do more of a reaction thing. I'm going to film my reactions. I'm still getting used to the whole episode thing. So let me know what you would rather see, either a review like this or a reaction video with like my theories at the end. Let me know in the comments below. Greatly appreciated. Also, let me know who you think the auteur is. I think we're one episode away from finding out. So put those theories in. Or you can DM me on Instagram or Twitter. All of that information will be down below. I'm trying to think if there's anything else besides subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and sharing it with all your Riverdale friends, both of them, whatever. I can't wait to share what else is coming up. I have a few projects coming up, actually. There is a podcast in the works of mine with my friend from my Disney college program. I never mentioned that on here, but I used to work in Disney, and my friend and roommate from Disney, we are going to be starting a podcast spilling all the Disney tea, and that's going to be released in a little while. We're going to film it and put it on YouTube. I don't know if I'm going to put it on this channel or I'm going to start a separate channel. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm also going to start a few other types of videos on this channel. I want to do, so that's going to be on Mondays. Whenever I release that video, it's going to be Magical Mondays. And I think I want to do True Crime Tuesdays. True crime is one of my biggest passions. So I'm really interested in like talking about it. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in, because I would love to do it. And then we'll go back to Wednesdays will be nothing, of course, just because I will be posting on Thursdays then for Riverdale. I can't believe it. We are in season 5, y'all, and it's so exciting. This was the season premiere. So once again, please subscribe to my channel. I think I'm also going to show like all my Riverdale merch one day, because this is a new sweatshirt I got from Christmas. I have such bad ADD that I am not focusing. Okay, subscribe to my channel, like and share this video. Please follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, and you can feel free to DM me with any of your theories or any of your questions about Riverdale. You can also find me on TikTok. I'm going to share that too, just because I do amazing videos on TikTok. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm back and we're in this, and I'm gonna be with you every week now. And let's see, am I forgetting anything else? Oh yeah, stay weird, Riverheads.